Well, as much as I'd love to hit the fine folks here with the cliffhanger about this free agent class, I cannot possibly do that because I need to know what the hell this team's going to look like next season before we get into the Paul Kariya sweepstakes. Really quickly, staff, boring stuff, right? We'll handle this really quickly. We will fire this B-rated coach in Foy. Sorry, Chance. And we will send a max offer to Justice Kadri, more like Justice for Kadri, getting run out of town by Leafs fans. And definitely not because he was a cheap shot artist in the playoffs. That's Stanley Cup champion, Nazem Kadri, by the way. Don't you forget it, Steve Simmons. We have a couple of scouts that we're going to have to bring in too. Not you. Thank you for sorting the wrong way, game. Okay, if you spell Natalie like that, you hate your child. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it because, damn it, I feel like it's true. If you spell Natalie that way, not great. Not great. Just saying. Shout out to Cedric Spooner. Larry Loins. I think I saw him on the hub one day. Larry Loins. Natalie. Her parents were a big fan of George Washington. Okay. Presidential jokes aside, we have an insane decision to make here. That free agent class is absurd. I don't know how the hell Paul Kariya fits into this team, but you sign him and then ask questions later. Even if it means getting rid of Andy McDonald, right? You do what you got to do. Obviously, we won't worry about RFAs, but taking a look at the forwards, Kariya and Dimitra at the top of the list, alongside some veterans as well who are pretty damn good, but extreme high-end talent there. In terms of prospects, Ryan Malone, actually. 24 years old and 81. Ryan Malone wouldn't be that bad. So those would be the guys to look at for forwards, unless there are some high nines in the mix. Medium nine, Bekoff, Menino, Geet, dude named Yaskin. Nobody too crazy. Terms of the defense. Boris Mironov, Merrick Malik, Darian Hatcher as the big three. No prospects really to sign. I mean, Henrik Tallinder, Robidah's out there still. Greg Zanin at 23. Is that Nick Schultz? That is Nick Schultz. Okay. It's also a random 20-year-old enforcer. For the goalies, Roman Cechmanek, Martin Biron, handful of others. In terms of potential, there is a dude named Teal. Also a dude named Terrell, but medium starter doesn't really have much trade value, so not too worried about it. It's worth a third rounder if you're Rick DiPietro. How many contracts were we on with the RFA status? 39. Okay. Paul Kariya. We will adhere to the rule that we instilled from the very beginning. I am not allowed to edit the offer for him, but we will be going after Paul Kariya. As well, I'm going to send Ryan Malone an offer because I feel like he could be worth it. Again, the medium nines, it wasn't... Adam Deadmarsh, I love you. It wasn't overly pretty here in terms of players that can actually get better. Notable names, but nobody who's going to significantly improve. Defensively is an interesting one. I am willing to send out a deal to Greg Zanin. He's looking for way too much, but shoot your shot, kid. As well as Nick Schultz. Mironov, Malik, Hatcher. I mean, Mironov is a potential point producer. He is getting older. Marek Malik, definitely more defensive, which is why his shootout goal was so surprising. And then Darian Hatcher as a defensive, physical threat. I mean, physicality was the name of the game for Darian Hatcher. I just don't know if I want to go for a deal for either of these defensemen. I kind of do. Honestly, Mironov and Hatcher would be fucking amazing. And again, there's no salary cap. So we could. We've only offered 3 contracts so far, and we're on 39, apparently, with the RFA status. It would obviously drastically change up our defense, but it's tough to argue it isn't worth it. I'm going to send a deal out to both Boris Mironov and Darian Hatcher. I mean, we're in cup-winning mode right now. I'm going to wait a couple of days for Korea to make sure we can maximize the offer. So get a trade offer there. Obviously, we'll decline all trades for now. Kadri accepted. So he's on as a coach. Obviously, we get the scouts in there. It's going to be interesting. We missed out on Pavel Bure. Can we land Paul Kariya? Here we go. It's time to send him an offer. Paul Kariya, with half the league seemingly interested in him. Paul Kariya, the offer's out. And if we miss on you, we're going after Pavel Demitra. Fuck it. It might mean certain prospects get traded away that we were planning on building around, but fuck it. We're in the mix now. If we're going to be good, we're going to make the playoffs, then damn it, let's try to win a cup immediately. No guarantees how many of these guys we get. Dude, Darian Hatcher has 12 teams with an offer in on him right now. Korea, Dimitra, Mironov, Hatcher, Malone, Zanin, and Schultz are the offers that we have out, plus our RFAs. Here we go. Hatcher goes to Chicago. Ryan Malone has signed. All right, that's a crafty little signing. Greg Zanin has signed as well. That's good for Chicago. Nick Schultz went to Dallas. I wanted him more than Zanin. Wow, we still didn't get a response from Mironov, Korea, or Dimitra. Here we go. Paul Kariya goes to Kakalaki. North Kakalaki specifically. What a time to get something stuck in my eye. I promise I'm not crying. I feel like I should make a new rule about being able to round up at this point, because they always say I didn't give them enough fucking money, which is bullshit. Pavel Demitra goes to Boston. Coco, what's going on, buddy? We are doing well. Boris Mironov also goes to Carolina. So, free agency didn't go too well for us. Not at all. Ryan Malone and Greg Zanin are the two that we landed on top of the RFAs that we have. UFAs that are left, it's not even worth it. I mean, Adam Deadmarsh is always worth it, but... Okay. We stay the course, then. We stay the course. Other teams offer more than the asking price. Well, what was Korea's asking price? Like 12.5 or 12.8? Something like that? Somebody asked for 12.8. Okay. New rule. I am allowed to offer $500K over the asking price because I think that's what Korea signed for. So I am allowed to ask $500K over the asking price. It's official. That's as much as we're going up on, so I can at least be competitive God damn it. Still, we're in a decent spot. Let's get these RFAs signed. And I don't remember exactly what Dimitri was looking for, but he signed for 12.25. So I don't think Korea signed for 1.5 over. I don't think so. He might have. 11.9, 12. God, if it was 11.9, then yeah, he signed for a shitload. Was it 11.9 over 12? 11.9 for Dimitra. We're going to make that 500K rule then. I'm allowed to offer 500K above that listed price. Set in stone. Done deal. Terms of the RFAs, we got to get these contracts sorted. Sooner the better. We'll give Luongo the money that he wants. We'll give all these dudes the money that they want. At worst, it affects like trade value. Man, Brian Campbell wanted $9.3 million. Again, there's no salary cap, so it's fine. Like I said, the only thing it might possibly affect is trade value, but even then, I can't imagine it'll be that bad. I mean, just sign everybody to exactly what they're asking for, get them under contract, know what our roster situation is, and then be able to get to the preseason and kind of finalize what we're going to be looking like. So, here we go. Contract offers out to every single one of our RFAs. Let's get them signed, sorted. Let's clear out the trade block because Pittsburgh's not going to leave me the hell alone. Oh, I love how it just messes with the trade block whenever it wants. Leave me alone. So Biron signed. Finger. And Ryan. Is anybody going to decline? Oh my God, St. Louis, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Luongo's back. Connolly, Campbell. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to decline. I missed one fucking thing, and they're still going to send me offers for it. Unbelievable. Leave me alone. Coco, how are you, though, my friend? I hope you were doing well. But yeah, that 500K rule. This is why we experiment around, right? To find out stuff like this. Especially for future runs, you know? This probably won't be the only run that we do on this particular roster. A little sick, but feeling better. I feel like I'm getting a cold. So, I'm right there with you. All right. Louis Eriksson. Do we put you in the AHL or just let you develop on your own? And then what the hell do we do with Marc-Andre Fleury, who is NHL ready? Damn. Fleury and Eriksson. What the hell do we do with them? Let's get a look at the team. In goal, Luongo. Lundqvist is a backup. It makes sense to leave Fleury unsigned. It might not be the best for his development, but it's what's best for us. We get one season of Luongo, Lundqvist, and then we have to make a decision. Honestly, I feel like this season is our only season with Luongo, Lundqvist, and Fleury. I feel like both Hank and Flower will be starters next year. And for the sake of their development, they're going to have to actually be the starters, meaning they go or Luongo goes to make the most of the value. So we are coming up on a big time decision for what to do with this team. Big time. For now, Flower will not be signed, though, to try and make the most of it. So in goal, we have Lou and Hank. We'll need a third goalie. And then in the AHL is Stanya and whoever else. Defense. Kalinen's 23. He's make or break. Jeff Finger is NHL ready as well. So a lot of defensive choices here. The top two, fairly obvious, Campbell and Chara. From there, we have Eric Brewer on the second pair. And then three dudes from Biron to Kalinin can stay. Three of them. Right. Van Ryn's high 6, but he's 24. Barrett Jackman's high 6 at 22. And Kalinen's high 6 at 23. Barrett Jackman is going to stay based off of age and potential. Jackman stays. It makes sense for the next two to be right-handed shots. Everyone we have so far is a lefty. So I hate to say it, but Branislav, Meze, and Dmitry Kalinin are out. Biron, Gilson, Van Ryn, or Finger. 23, medium 6. 24, high 6. 23, medium 6. 23, medium 6. We're going to say goodbye to Mike Van Ryn. So it is down to Biron, Gilson, and Jeff Finger. Biron is defense, physical. Gilson, little bit more of a two-way. Decent physical game. And then Jeff Finger is an insane physical game. Jesus Christ. 99 aggressiveness, 94 body checking. 98 passing for Jeff Finger. Congratulations to Jeff Gilson and Jeff Finger, who have made the cut. We'll be saying goodbye to Biron, despite the one overall point better. So Chara, Campbell, Brewer, Jackman, Gilson, and Finger to start off. We know what four defensemen are going. And then in the system, all of these dudes are in the AHL. We have, our defense is getting worse. Foster and Zanin, Bieksa and Kolyakovo, Ballard, and we'll need somebody else to round out that defense, but that's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right. So a lot of defensemen that'll be going out. We'll be looking around the league as well for prospects that might be able to fill the roles. For the forwards, Hunter's 23. He should be in the NHL by now. Kolnick's 22. One more season. And Junior will be fine. Who can be sent down? Dupuy's 23. Kapanen's 25. In fairness, I can send down the defenders now. So that'll be Meze, Kalinin, Van Ryn. Let's see, as well at forward. Again, Kolnick was fine. Everything else is looking okay. Again, you could argue whether or not we need Louis Eriksson on that team. So then for the forwards, second liners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it works out pretty well, I would say. I mean, the order can be contested, but Connolly, McDonald, and Zetterberg, Nash, Heatley, and Dumont will make up the top 6. Third line will have Malone, Spezza, and Verbata. That top 9's insane. And then the fourth line, we got 5 dudes, 3 spots. I mean, Matt Darsh is 26, so Darsh is on the outs. Pyatt's a medium 9. Dupuy's a high 9. Kapanen's a medium 9. Hunter. Okay, pretty easy. Kapanen's out. So it will be on the fourth line, Pyatt, Dupuy, and Hunter. So Dupuy and Hunter have made the team, graduating up from the AHL. We'll need a random depth forward, which you could argue would be Darsh or Kapanen. I just don't want to have to replace Darsh every time. We're not really worried about his development, though. So if we send down Darsh and Kapanen, who's the best guy that could get bumped up? Sort by OBR. Yeah, I guess Kapanen can stay as the depth. So we'll bump him back up. That team's looking phenomenal, man. They really are. They really are. Even without the big free agent signing that we were looking for. The defense still isn't insane, but it's not necessarily bad. And again, we're getting rid of those top 4 because they're still guys that have some value. Okay. And then AHL forwards is the last thing that we have to map out here. So Danye, Kolnick, and Darsh, Weinhandel, Kalanos, and Neal. We got Chris Kelly, Rene Bourque, Riku Hall, Colby Armstrong, Mike Rupp, and Rich Peverly. Yeah, I don't think we need Louis. Svatos, Lundqvist, and Stajan. Everybody here is on the team. No one's in junior. Okay. We could get rid of, like, Danye or Darsh based off of their age. Or we could just leave them for depth, which I think is okay. All right. Well, we know what direction we're going then. We would have to trade someone if we thought Louis Eriksson had to be signed. Which, again, I don't think that he does. Let's look around the league. We got 4 defensemen that we want to get rid of to free up roster spots. Man, the Ducks losing Korea is huge for them, though. Let's see. Any half-decent prospects out there? Antti Miettinen, Scotty Upshaw. Anybody better than a medium 9? Mike Richards is being shopped. I don't know if we quite have the value to pull off that trade. But we can try. We're trading Biron. Oh, yeah, we got the value. Biron won't be enough. But if we use Biron and Dmitry Kalinin to get Mike Richards, is that good enough? Yes, it is. So Biron and Kalinin out. We acquire Mike Richards, who, of course, we debated picking up in that last draft anyway. Elected against it, but that still worked out tremendously for us. Is there another team like that we can do business with? Dude named Frolov. Anybody else here? Anybody else? I just realized I had to check something really quickly, too. I got to check my hard drive space. All right, I got plenty. We're fine. Wanted to make sure the recording didn't get cut off. Braden Coburn. Not the best offer, but the Rangers could work. Come on, there's got to be somebody else. Anybody? It won't be the best deal, but let's go talk to the New York Rangers. They have Braden Coburn. Lucas Krajicek would be great. Brooks Orpik, Kyle Quincy. I mean, shit, why not? So Coburn is in junior. Krajicek would join the team. So would Orpik. And then Quincy's in the minors. So I don't need Krajicek and Orpik. Orpik's a 71 at 21. Yeah, Orpik's going to be the one that's out. That trio of defensemen for Branislav Meze and Mike Van Ryn. Looks like that will go through, no problem. So again, Coburn and Quincy will still be in junior. Lucas Krajicek will be on the defense. That looks pretty good to me. Can we safety net it with like a
just trying to walk through this
couple of picks? Shout out to the Fourth Liners podcast. Listen to it if you want to. Hey, there we go. Done deal with the New York Rangers. Feel like that worked out pretty well for us too. That gives us the roster spots we were hoping for. Do I sign Louis Eriksson? That's a big question. I feel like I could, you know what, I'm going to, because I feel like I could put him with Mike Richards. And I feel like that'll be a really dynamic pairing like we had with Zetterberg and Heatley. So we are going to sign Louis Eriksson. No reason to sign Kyle Quincy or Brent Seabrook yet. So in free agency, we need a depth defenseman for the NHL. So it'll be the best guy that we can find, which is either going to be Mike Motto or Mike Weaver. Choose your Mike. And we'll go for the right-handed shot, Mike Weaver, just because, again, we need a right-handed shot. So we'll send a deal out to Mike Weaver. I need a third-string NHL goalie. What do we want to go for here? There's a lot of options. Let's go for... Corey Hirsch again. Seems like a nice guy. There we go. We'll give Corey Hirsch a spot here. So again, we'll pencil in Weaver and Hirsch. And then in the AHL, we need a couple of depth defensemen. Both under about a 70 overall. So we'll go like 69 overall to play it safe, which is very nice, of course. Let's see who we can find in the mix here that fits that overall. Is this Joe Finley? It's Jeff Finley. And Chris Kelleher, my dad. He's not, but we'll bring back Chris Kelleher as a depth option. And Bob, I'll bring the beers. They were our depth options before, and they're back. Chris Kelleher and Bob Beers. So our AHL goaltending is a bit of a toss-up right now. It could be whoever the hell we wanted. I mean, there's quite a few medium backups that we could just be like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Is that Dean Eakin? I was going to say Dallas Eakins wasn't a goalie. There's actually a lot of medium backups, but I don't necessarily want to hand out entry-level contracts to back up potential dudes. But then again, these guys are looking for 1 year. Is anybody else up here? Mika Norinen was looking for one. Okay, actually, and the high backup LaBarbera. All right, let's send a deal out to Jason LaBarbera. Why not? Well, I can only envision as an old man. And then for the other medium backup, looking for 1 year, Sabarin, Sauve, Caron. Let's go for Danny Sabarin. Why not? And that should pretty much be the team built for this year, where I think the NHL team will have a phenomenal chance of making the playoffs. The AHL team will have a phenomenal chance of winning another Calder Cup. So long as we have room for everybody. And we did. I'm not trading Renee Bork. Thank you very much. So one more look here. Dude, I am definitely getting sick. My nose is driving. The post-Christmas illness. You love it. Fuck's sake. All right. Let's find out then. Luongo, Lundqvist, Hirsch. Defense. We need to call up Mike Weaver. And for the forwards, we are good because we're already at 20. Beautiful. So if we look at what the boys are going to look like this year, Heatley swaps out for Verbata. We know the third line is going to be Malone, Spezza, Verbata, which is tremendous. High elite Jason Spezza. The fourth line, we don't want Kapanen in. We want Taylor Pyatt. None of these guys can really take face-offs, but we'll go with Dupuis, Pyatt, and Hunter. And then the second line is the interesting one. It's got to be the youth. So we are going to go with Connolly, McDonald, and Dumont. It'll actually be Dumont, McDonald, Connolly. And then the top line, the youth has taken over. Nash, Zetterberg, and Heatley. Unbelievable. That's a playoff team right there. At least in my opinion, my very, very biased opinion. That's a playoff team. That center depth, come on. The defense. Again, we're going to keep Campbell and Chara together because that's an ungodly combination. We want Brewer on that second pair. Right now, at least with this coach, it would have to be Jeff Finger. And then we could go Barrett Jackman with Jeff Gilson. So, bottom half of the defense is average. But that top pairing is absurd. And then in goal, Roberto Luongo and Henrik Lundqvist. With Hirsch, Weaver, and Kapanen as the depth. That is pretty damn good. In the AHL, goaltenders LaBarbera and Sabourin. That's fine. The defense is Krachicek, Bieksa, Zanin, and Foster. Koliakovo, and then Bob Beers needs to be out for Keith Ballard. We can drop down Greg Zanin, not Craig. We're going to go Ballard, Bieksa for the Canucks fans in attendance. Krachicek, Foster, Koliakovo, and Zanin. That's not bad. I mean, honestly, for an AHL defense, that's not bad at all. Then for the forwards here. Hate to say it, but Danye and Darsh are probably the ones to suffer. Peverley in. Svatos in. And we would have to trade somebody else to make room for Joel Lundqvist and Riku Hall, who are both medium bottom sixes. So, to be honest, I'm not as concerned about them. We have Rupp at 23 and a 74. So Hall's actually better than Mike Rupp at this point. Any other medium bottom sixes? No. So Louis Eriksson obviously goes straight to that top line. Do we have any medium top sixes? We don't. So we'll be looking at potential high nines. Rich Peverley. Renee Bork could be in that mix. Or Colby Armstrong. 20 and a 73, 21 and a 75. It's going to be Colby Armstrong. Even though I think we might need Rich Peverley to take faceoffs, but I'm not really too worried about that. Or am I? Yeah, Pevs is going to be there. Eriksson, Peverley, Bork. Pretty good. It is pretty good. I forgot that Mike Richards went straight to junior. But whatever. I mean, Eriksson should do fine there. Other medium nines. The ones that we need next. Kolnick's 22. Hate to say it, but we should put Stage in there. I know Kolnick's decent, but... So Kolnick, Kelly... And we know Hall's on that fourth line. It's either Neal or Kalanos. Probably going to go with Chris Kalanos. So I think that is the AHL team this season. We definitely have more forwards than I normally like to carry as healthy scratches, but it is what it is. And I think this AHL team has the chance to be pretty damn good. We'll see if Louis Eriksson can walk in the footsteps of those who have won 60-plus games for the Chicago Wolves. It is the weakest goaltending, though, in theory, that they've had in a while. But this NHL team is disgusting. It's so, so good. We have room to improve as well defensively if we need to. If we don't make the playoffs this upcoming season, that is a massive disappointment.